Hey guys, it is Danny here, the multiple streams queen. Let me help you, right? I keep seeing so many new B&B entrepreneurs starting their business and making these 4 mistakes, and I want you to avoid those mistakes. Let me teach you exactly how to avoid these mistakes. Let me tell you what the mistakes are, right? I have been able to help hundreds of other nurses start and grow their Airbnb or short-term rental business. And I want to teach you exactly how to do that with less mistakes, right? Let's get into these mistakes. So number one, trying to clean your own unit. Don't do it, right? If you're getting into this business and you're planning to grow, do not start cleaning your own units. I tried that and I lasted all but 2 times, two cleanings, and I was done. It was a wrap for me, right? When you're constantly working in your business, it is hard for you to work on your business. You can be using that time doing something else, calling property managers, making connections, building relationships, growing your portfolio. But no, you're trying to clean your units. Don't do it, right? Don't do it. Number two, not planning, right? When you don't plan, you plan to fail. It may sound cliche, but it is so true. When you're not planning your moves and the next steps of what you're doing, you're literally planning to fail. It is a costly mistake that I made when I got my second and my third unit. I was just so excited that I was able to get a second proof or a second and a third unit that I took immediate possession of them. I hadn't planned anything. I didn't order any furniture. I didn't even have a concept for how I was actually going to furnish these units. And so they sat for 2 weeks, and it took me 2 weeks to get them up and running. Fortunately for me, I asked for some free concessions or free rent up front, right? But it cost me, right? If I would have properly planned, I would have had the furniture there. I would have scheduled my vendors. I would have had everything set up and prepared for the move, and I wouldn't have wasted 2 weeks. I gave away money because I didn't plan. Don't be me. I don't want you to do that. Plan your moves, right? Don't be so excited for the yes that you take immediate possession of these places and you have no idea what you're going to do, how you're going to furnish it, how it's going to look, and you're stuck. And in a few weeks, you got to pay rent. Plan, right? Don't be me. Number three, you're not doing your research. You think an area is hot. You think you can go and set up and make money, and you don't research, not a thing. I know I ain't the only one, right? I know I'm not. Before I started, I didn't really know how to research. I didn't know how to do market research. I was on YouTube University. I had taken courses. I went to webinars. Nobody really talked about market research and how to do it, right? So when I first started, I didn't really know. My very first one for me, luckily, I was in an area that was heavily populated with a lot of hospitals. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to focus on healthcare professionals. A lot of hospitals. I myself am a travel nurse, have worked at some of these hospitals. I'm going to focus on the nurses, right? But just imagine I went into that market not really knowing, really on a hope and a dream, and it ended up working. And later down the road, I learned how to properly do market research for the areas that I was going into, looking at seasonality, looking at who's actually coming to that market, how long are they staying, how much are they paying. I actually learned how to do it later down the road, but just imagine had that not worked out for me. And I know a lot of people that it happens that way. Right? You think that a market is hot, you get into it, you go get your unit, you go furnish it, you list it, and then you get a few bookings, then the bookings slow down. Or the season changes and the bookings slow down. That happens because you're not properly researching. I love to hear from you guys. So please drop some comments down below so I can read them and answer any questions that you may have. So number one, the first mistake is trying to clean your own units. Don't do it. Don't do it. I'm going to give you another gem. If you're planning to scale this business, you're planning to grow this business, Eventually, you're not only will you not be able to clean your own units, but eventually it will be wise if you have your own in-house cleaners. It's another gem. Write it down, right? It will be very wise if you have your own in-house cleaning team. We do, right? We do. And I'll tell you a little story behind that. When I started my business, my cleaner was phenomenal, right? I had two cleaners, a primary and a backup. The backup cleaner was phenomenal. The primary cleaner, she was okay. I didn't really know her. I didn't do a proper interview process, didn't do a proper orientation. And so when she cleaned and I checked behind her, I was like, oh, this is so-so. She left food in the fridge. And I was like, I don't know about her. So I was like, okay, let's try the backup cleaner. The backup cleaner, she insisted on meeting me, wanted to get to know me, wanted to learn about my business, how many we had, how many we were trying to get. And she told me her story about her business and why she started cleaning. Right. And I was like, I like this. I like getting to meet my cleaner in person, getting to know them, getting to know their story. And I started to think, okay, asking her questions. How many people do you have on your team? Because if she gets sick, who else can come clean? Right. She was phenomenal. She had 3 people on her team. She started off great. But what happened as I started to grow, she started to lose people on her team for various reasons, and she was unable to grow with me. So they started making mistakes because it was, at this point, it went from about 3 or 4 to only 2 of them. It went from about 3 or 4 people to only 2 of them. And at this point, we had over 20 something units. And unfortunately, they just could not grow with us. And as much as I wanted to hold on to her and I talked to her and I gave her chances, unfortunately, it just did not work out. And we had to part ways from her. And that's another thing, another mistake people make in their business, that you're afraid to fire people. You're afraid to let go of people. As you start your business and you grow your business and you go along, you will learn you have to be quick to fire. Slow to hire, but quick to fire. When you see signs that this is not working out, you've had a conversation or you've given a chance and it's still not working out, you have to cut that relationship off. This is a business. This is a business. So that brings me to our 4th lesson, right? Number 1, stop trying to clean your own units. Let someone else do it. That is not your area of genius. Let someone else operate in their area of genius and clean for you. Number 2, not properly planning. Plan your moves out, right? Once you get that approval, say, give me a second. And it typically takes about 2 weeks for everything to arrive for you to set up your unit. Give yourself a week or 2 before you go and you're all excited. You're like, oh, I'll take it. Give yourself a week or 2. Properly plan. Number 3, you gotta do your research. You have to. You have to do your research and know what is going on in that market. Okay. Number 4, be okay letting go. Be okay when business relationships are no longer working out, letting go of people. Number 5, write this down, y'all. Number 5 is not asking for stuff when you're getting these approvals. And when I want to say not asking for money. You're like, money? Who am I asking for money? The apartment complexes or the landlords. Like, hey, I want to grow with you. I would like to build my portfolio. I would like to have 5 units, 10 units. Can I get 2 months free? Can I get a month free? Ask for something, right? Just imagine if you ask and they say yes, versus if you didn't ask for anything, you got nothing. It don't hurt to ask. Ask for something. That's it, y'all. I will be back with more tips and more gems, hopefully, on getting into this business, guys. I hope that helps somebody. Check in the comments down below in the description, and we're going to leave a quick checklist of those 5 things and kind of break it down for you so you have it. Don't make the same mistakes that I made. Some of them can be costly, some of them not, right? But I want you guys to learn from my mistakes, and you don't make those mistakes so you can successfully start your short-term rental or Airbnb business and be good, right? Without the mistakes.